First thing we're going to do is mark the hole on my folding notebook cover. What do all gear guys like to do? They like to modify things. I have to say there's probably not a piece of equipment or gear that I have purchased or that I own that I've not in some way modified to suit my needs and make it work a little better for me. Now, that's what I'm set up here for. I'm going to do two mods that I've been thinking about for a while. It's been on my to-do list, and I've got some time today, so I'm going to get it done. Many of you guys have seen this. This is my over-the-shoulder carry bag. It is my go-to bag, and I frequently carry a GoPro right in the front pocket right here, and I will carry this over my shoulder with this GoPro secured in this pocket with this piece of paracord, and that paracord is just looped on the catch for the strap. It tends to move around a lot, and one day I was thinking, boy, it'd be nice if there were two grommets in there so I could run the paracord through and way to secure that camera. Now, I like having this camera here because it's all blacked out, and if you're not looking carefully, you wouldn't know that I've got a camera right here. And I frequently will have this camera running, and it's a great way to get video if you're walking through the airport or in crowds, maybe getting a cup of coffee at a counter, or some interesting conversation comes up. It's just a matter of just casually pointing the camera in that direction and then try not to bump it and let that camera work. And we're going to modify my bag with a grommet. Now, another place that I want to put a grommet is in my, this is like a little zipper notebook, and I've got a lot of stuff in this notebook that I rely on. But one thing that I have here, this is my secured USB drive, and I've got a small little paracord loop, and I normally just keep it in the pocket here, but it slides out, and I'm really afraid someday I'm just going to unzip this and not be paying attention and lose it. So I'm going to put a grommet right here. It's out of the way of the zipper, and I'll be able to loop this USB drive on the paracord loop that's on the grommet, and it will be secure, but I'll be able to take it out quickly if I need it. Okay, what do we need? Hammer. We need grommets. We need a grommet set. I like to use masking tape and a Sharpie so that I can mark accurately where I want to put the hole. Now you need a punch, and I found that these punches that you can drive with the hammer are a lot easier to use than a rotary punch. And the way I find it really quick is I put a piece of red electrical tape on the end. So that's a nice little tip. Okay, first thing we're going to do is mark the hole on my folding notebook cover. And this is the USB that I eventually want to hang right there and be secure. When I open my notebook, it'll be hanging from that grommet. I want to put the grommet right in that crease, right where the zipper ends. So we'll put a little piece of masking tape there, mark a hole with a Sharpie, and punch the hole. I always fold my ends over on my tape. Small thing, but it just makes it easier to grab the tape end next time I need it. Make my hole in the center, but far enough below that seam that I won't have a problem. All right, we've got a nice hole. I can remove my tape, and then we'll move on to my shoulder bag. I want to put a grommet right there and there, sort of on the edges of where this reinforced sewing is. Okay, that's where I'm going to punch my holes. It's going to be a little hard to do it from the outside, so I'm going to open my bag up and see if I can do that from the inside. A little bit awkward. And we'll just put our grommet in, and you'll see that's going to look nice. Then that grommet is going to sit down on top of the depression on the anvil. Then we'll slide the washer in. All right, so we got a nice grommet right there. It's in the perfect spot. Almost looks like it should be there. And I'll show you the details on finishing that up in 1 minute. So in this particular application, it seems to be working well to put the grommet in, washer on the set, and then line them up, and then tilt the whole thing over. All right, we're successful. This was a little challenging just because of the mechanics of the bag, but that worked out perfect. And when that GoPro sits in there, the paracord will be in a perfect spot to secure it down to my bag. So this is the old paracord. I had it looped on this D-ring, and this would be a much nicer installation with those grommets. Okay, more than one way to skin the cat. I was struggling, so I just took a little extra piece of masking tape, secured those ends together, and I was good to go. All right, let's take a look and see how we did. So the GoPro handle just sits in that pocket. I still have room. I can put other things in there if I want. And then this cord just goes up around the neck and then off to one side, nice and secure. And now my D-ring is no longer in the way of this camera. And if I want, I can, just as a little aside, tilt the camera up at a slight up angle, secure the thumb screw, and that's a nice way to point a camera around. And it's black, it blends in. You're really not aware that the camera's there. We just got through putting a grommet right up there, and then this paracord loop, which allows my USB drive to ride nice and secure in the crease in the notebook, pulling on the green loop and the black loop, and they come uncoupled. Now I can use my USB drive. And I also now have a nice little loop if I want to clip this notebook onto something to keep it secure, maybe a tether cord inside my bag. I wanted to point out this little guy. So this is my backup light that rides right up at the top there. It sits in the nice little crease right above the notebook and right above my U.S. Constitution. This is the 90-degree light from County Com. It's got 3 modes of brightness, and I have been using it as an impromptu illuminator for this particular video. All right, thanks for tagging along. This was a fun mod. In the back, I've got something that every one of you should have. U.S. Constitution and Citizens Rulebook.